Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, November 13. I'm Herman Green with your midday news. A special welcome if you're watching online at onespotmedia.com. We begin with tragic news as two primary age students and a driver are dead following a single vehicle collision on the Elegant Corridor in Rose Hall, St. James this morning. Two other children are in hospital. Their conditions are not known. The students attend the John Rawlins Success Primary in Rose Hall. Head of the Public Safety and Enforcement Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Senior Superintendent Calvin Allen, says the crash occurred about 8 o'clock.
A Toyota Cressida motor car was traveling along the Elegant Corridor heading towards Falmouth, and for reasons not yet fully known, but what we can see from this collision is the fact that the vehicle was being driven at a very high rate of speed. The driver is said to be a security guard. He was in his uniform and was transporting 4 children. So 4 children were aboard that vehicle. And he lost control and the vehicle ran off the road and into a ditch.
At least 20 children have died in road crashes since the start of the year. The caretaker who was taken into custody last month for questioning in connection with the fatal shooting of Minister James Johnson has been released. He underwent questioning for several weeks by detectives attached to the Major Investigation Division. His firearm had also been seized for ballistic testing. However, the results are not known. The man who was employed to the Church of God of Prophecy in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, was detained on October 6. He was found hiding in the ceiling of his house after eluding detectives for weeks who wanted him to answer further questions in relation to the incident. Minister Johnson was killed on the compound of the Church of God of Prophecy on September 23. It was reported that the 29-year-old pastor was in his office at the church when he was attacked and shot. His licensed firearm was stolen. Government agencies are coming under more fire from the private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, which is up in arms over the ongoing road projects in the corporate area, which it has declared is causing significant losses for its members. PSOJ President Howard Mitchell wants immediate action taken so that the roads can be put in a state where motorists can access businesses without difficulty. There are currently several road improvement sites in the corporate area which are in operation daily and sometimes at night. These have restricted vehicular access to many areas and also resulted in traffic snarls. In addition to the delays, there has been infrastructure damage which has shut down utilities such as telephone, internet, cable, and water. Mr. Mitchell complains that his members have voiced several concerns about the situation, which they feel has been going on for too long. He told our news center last night that some businesses have not been surviving since the work started, and he fears that others will soon fail.
Had enough. The business community has been suffering, especially in the 3 Mile Spanish Town Road area and at Constant Spring. We've had people who have had to close their business and lose their life income. And this is not to mention the stress and the pressure that is put on employees and other stakeholders in the businesses in the business community to come to work, to interact in their daily affairs.
A desperate call for help this afternoon. Farmers at the Yalas Agro Park in St. Thomas staged a protest yesterday in a bid to get the Agriculture Ministry to provide a tractor to plow lands so that they can begin their agricultural productions. They say they have been seeking the requisite help since August of this year.
We have paid money from like August, and I know some of us land has not prepared. We are the leading farmers in onion and other produce. We have water all year around. And I don't see why we don't have the use of a tractor. One tractor cannot supply the farmers of St. Thomas.
This year, more people plan to expand the onion project. We plan to do like about 20 acres or more. But because of the poor tractor service, we almost failed.
With those concerns that the farmers are expressing disappointment with the Ministry of Agriculture.
And we appeal to the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Other Clark, help us, he died and gone. Mr. Otutin, you are ramp, you are joking. You're talking about St. Thomas, St. Louis with your parish and Clarendon. What about St. Thomas?
The issue of vector control is once again the main focus for the St. Anne Health Department. This follows several complaints from persons about an increase in the mosquito population. But at the monthly parish council meeting last Thursday, the health department says it has it under control. TVJ Shamela Pullen reports.
There has been months of heavy rains in St. Anne, and Medical Officer of Health Dr. Deborah Weir says the health department has been getting a number of complaints about mosquito infestation in the various communities.
In the month of October, over 800 premises were inspected and over 2,000 containers were found, and of the 2,000, some 600 were found positive. That is, they were breeding mosquitoes, the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
That is the same mosquito responsible for dengue fever, the Zika virus, and chikungunya. While Dr. Weir didn't speak about a reduction or an increase in the cases of the Zika virus and chikungunya, she says there has been a reduction in the number of dengue fever cases.
So far, for the month of October, we only had reported some 5 suspected cases of dengue fever versus 9 in September, Zika 2, chikungunya 2, whereas in September we had 4 and 3 suspected cases respectively.
The health department says it continues to do its part by visiting communities affected and those potentially at risk. Dr. Weir said that one of their main target areas is tire shops. She says the intervention has been reaping success.
And I must say the tire shops, we have had interventions with them, having meetings, and they're doing quite well. If we visit, say, 10 tire shops, maybe 3 or 4 would be found positive breeding sites. So the operators, they're going out and they're doing what they're supposed to do. We just want the householders to go out and do the same things in and around their home.
Meanwhile, Dr. Weir says individuals must do their part to assess in and around their homes to reduce mosquito breeding sites. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
To a story we've been tracking now, the 14 firefighters who allegedly stole from passengers aboard the Fly Jamaica aircraft which crash landed in Guyana were each released on $100,000 station bail yesterday. Following investigations, a file was prepared and sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions for advice. It is likely that they will be arraigned before a magistrate today. The firefighting team, which is stationed at the airport, includes supervisors with over 15 years of experience as well as junior ranks. They were arrested immediately after the incident. The stolen items included tablets, cell phones, and colognes, which were stolen from the pilot as well as passengers. Now, some of the items have been recovered. Concerns have been raised in some quarters of society as to why the government waited so long to waive visa requirements for Russian tourists to enter the country. But speaking to journalists recently, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett noted that before access could be granted, issues surrounding border protection had to be addressed.
A long way in building out that capacity, and we're using technology to great effect. You will also notice that here at the airport, we are having processing arrangements. We are also using the electronic equipment to do the actual processing of visitors that come in. And very shortly, we are going to be where the rest of the world are. And we're certainly Miami and so on are with facial recognition and other types of biometric tools.
Cabinet gave approval for an amendment to the agreement between the government and the Russian Federation for the waiver of visa requirements for periods not exceeding 90 days per annum in September. Information Minister Senator Ruel Reid said the waiver will also mutual visits of citizens of Jamaica and the Russian Federation to facilitate tourism and business purposes. Member of Parliament for North East Manchester, Audley Shaw, is urging his colleagues to be leaders with good character. Mr. Shaw charged them to be good examples for Jamaicans, as he believes it will help Jamaica to flourish under the Jamaica Labour Party government. Mr. Shaw was speaking at a recent Area Council meeting at the Homewood Technical High School in Manchester.
I ask you to lift up your own standards. I ask you to set the right example for our people in our communities. Set the standard and let them see a Labour councillor, candidate, Labour MP, or candidate award. You know that you walk with your head held high.
It's that time of year again. Those iconic red kettles from the Salvation Army will again be seen on the streets, encouraging persons to donate to help the less fortunate. The Salvation Army has launched its Red Kettle program for 2018. This year, they are seeking to raise $15 million to help needy families and homeless people with well-needed items, including Christmas food hampers. Again this year, Scotiabank opened the donations with a $1 million check to the program. Chief Executive Officer of Scotia Group Jamaica, David Noel, is encouraging all of us to give this year as the money raised through the drive goes beyond Christmas.
It's designed to really ensure not just that people can have a good Christmas, but the Salvation Army can do the good work it does across Jamaica throughout the year. So while we're all having a good time at Christmas, we know the Salvation Army team out there, we see the red kettle, we hear the bell, and sometimes you can overlook it because it just reminds you of Christmas and it's a part of the warmth of Christmas. Whenever you see that kettle, I'm going to ask you to give a little more this year.
We're going on to a disturbing sports story as the Office of the Children's Advocate has launched an investigation into an incident at the Vere Technical High School where a teacher is alleged to have used a piece of PVC pipe to beat a Class 3 student athlete. As Keon Rayner reports, the incident, which is alleged to have taken place just under 2 weeks ago, has reportedly left bruises on the child.
I'm feeling pain in my hands and my legs.
A 13-year-old Vere Technical Class 3 middle distance runner speaking with the TVJ Sports last Tuesday as she left the doctor's office in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. The student athlete alleges she was beaten by the physical education teacher at Vere Technical on Thursday, November 1, after she refused to participate in track and field training, and her mother, Anne-Marie Palmer James, is upset.
She's telling me now that the child have potential and don't want to go training. I told her she should contact me because she have no right to lick him, and the school back her. From my understanding, the school back her because up till today, the principal didn't say to me that she's sorry about what she do or anything. It was the vice principal, and everybody is just trying to cover it up.
Palmer James has since reported the matter to the Hayes police station after not getting anywhere with the school authorities.
Angry, miserable, I'm terrified, and I'm not stopping until I get justice out of all of this because some crazy things going on in school and sometimes we don't know about it, but it has just happened to me now and I understand everything, and I'm not stopping until I get justice for her.
A member of the JCF with the Hayes police station who confirmed receiving the report from Palmer James has indicated to TVJ Sports that they have since started to investigate the matter. When our news team arrived at Vere Technical on Monday, we were blocked from entering the premises to speak with the principal, Antoinette Banton Ellis. Reacting to the incident, having seen photos of the injuries sustained by the 13-year-old student athlete, children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison, who described the incident as unfortunate, says she has launched an investigation into the matter.
This is a matter that clearly would attract the attention of the Office of the Children's Advocate. Thanks to the media, I've already actioned it in terms of having my Director of Investigations view the photos, and our intention, of course, is to probe the matter, see exactly what has taken place since this incident came to light, and really just try to have all the evidence collected so that if there is someone who is to be held accountable, we can identify who that is, and the process will take its course.
TVJ Sports also sought a reaction from President of the Intersecondary School Sports Association, ISA, Dr. Walton Small, who was unaware of the matter.
What can happen is that if the if the person who is involved here is found guilty of child abuse, then ISO, with its disciplinary committee, could look at the possibility of not having such an individual being in the ISO organized competition. But outside of that, we can't do anything. If he or she is found innocent, then it is business as usual.
Gordon Harrison also said there is also the possibility that the matter could end up in the courts.
On the face of it, this would be assault occasioning actual bodily harm. Just on the face of it, I mean, I haven't seen a medical yet to determine if the injuries are more serious. But usually this is a matter that would end up in the criminal court.
The student athlete has since been transferred to Hydel High. Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Keon Reyna.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Join us at 7 for the primetime news package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.